How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here on NHL 25. Moving into episode number 15 for the year number 5, 2028-29 regular season. In the last one, we made some changes in the offseason coming off of our Stanley Cup Final loss against the Avalanche. It was our first Stanley Cup Final appearance since 1984. We went all the way to 6 games, but the Avalanche were just a juggernaut of a team. We made some changes in the offseason, said goodbye to some veterans, and now we're ready to run it back for what will be our 5th year here on the island. There are a lot of familiar faces, but some new ones here to begin training camp for 2028, so I'll just quickly run through the names as we have them so far to begin the preseason. On the first line, Cole Yzerman, for some reason, he's dropped down to an 86 overall. After scoring 65 points in 69 games last year, he drops, was he an 88? I don't know why he's down to an 86, but with high top 6 potential, hopefully he should bounce back ASAP. Big Bo Horvat at the highest overall of his career so far. 91 overall with 5-star senses, shooting, and defense. 4.5 puck skills, skating, and physical. As last year, he scored 44 goals and 91 points. Career highs in both those categories, even in the assists, career highs everywhere for Big Bo top 50 to lead our team in scoring. He was a machine, and that's why we'll likely try him as first-line center and not second-line center this year. 44 goals and 91 points while averaging 18.59 of ice time. Let's give him first-line minutes now. On the right, potentially, Brock Besser, who also had a good goal-scoring season last year as he put up 34, yes. 34 goals and 67 points, his highest as an Islander. Great to see there as well. On the second line, Porter Martone now up to an 88 overall. He continues to grow very nicely. His sophomore season saw him score 20 goals and 61 points, and a plus 42 to boot, while averaging 17.5 minutes of ice time per night. So Porter Martone now in a continued full-time second line, top 6 role, I should say. Maybe even a first-line role. We'll touch upon that later on. Matty Barzal, our first-line center of the last few years, of the last 4 years actually. Do we try him on the second line this year? 76 points last year in a full 82-game season, playing 21-48. Maybe swap his ice time with Bo Horvat and try him in the second line role, give him some snipers and things like that. I wonder if that might be beneficial for him. Yes, he could play first line right wing, but then who plays second line center? Well, it could be Malkin. Then who plays third line center? I don't know if Letourneau is ready yet. That's the issue. So Matty Barzal is likely a first line right winger of the future, but for this season, he might just stay a second line center, and then if we could find a more full-time permanent second line center in the future, that would be great. It's more that we don't have anyone to fill in if we were to put him there, but I digress. On the second line, left wing, Patrick Laine, also a good goal-scoring season last year. Not as great as the year prior where he scored 34, but still 28 goals and 68 points, identical point totals, plus 16. Not as much ice time. Yeah, he got bumped down to the third line for a little bit, so back in a full-time top 6 role. Hopefully that'll be helpful for him. Now on the third line, 2 newcomers. Ethan Belchetz, who was our 8th overall pick in 2026, he's ready to make his NHL debut. The big 6'5" winger with 2 superstar abilities. He was playing big minutes in the OHL, scoring 50 goals and 92 points in 67 games, 96 points the year before that. So Ethan Belchetz, listed as a 4th line forward with a medium league potential, real-world prospect. We'll give him a chance on the third line alongside legend Evgeny Malkin, who led the team in postseason scoring and was second in regular season scoring. 83 points on the season. In the playoffs, he scored 26 in 26. He wanted that Stanley Cup. We thought we'd probably be letting him go, especially how much he was asking for, but we had the money to spend at $6.5 million, and he just did too well to let him walk if he wasn't going to be retiring. So Evgeny Malkin is back. Will it be a full-time third line role? Will he creep back to the second line? We'll see, but Malkin will at least return to Long Island for, I would think, his last season at 42 years of age. He'll center Belchetz, and also new Islander Mason Marchment. We desperately needed help on the special teams, especially the penalty kill. So Mason Marchment with his 3.5-star defense, don't be fooled though, 89 stick checking, 85 awareness, and the 5-star physical. Also has a little bit of a scoring touch to him as well. Scored 27 goals last season, 41 points. He should hopefully be that perfect third line / penalty kill guy who could even go on the power play if needed. We were targeting Morgan Geekie, but he ended up not signing with us. He signed with the Kings, I believe. So Marchment was our backup guy essentially. 2 years at $3 million. Not ideal to sign a 33-year-old, but at $3 million and with just a 12-team no trade clause, that is a manageable, even tradable contract. I don't mind that. So Mason Marchment at an 86 overall will be on that third line with Belchetz and Malkin. As the fourth line, Anders Lee is the one returning guy of that fourth line, as Palmieri's now 13th forward / AHL kind of guy. Now that Palmieri's like 13th forward / AHL and Cizikas retired, Anders Lee at 38 years of age will play fourth line with Dean Letourneau, who I was hoping was going to be the third line center now that Brock Nelson is also gone. But after 20 points in 82 games, that wasn't the end of the world, 20 points playing 9 minutes a night. It was more that when given the third line minutes, he didn't really thrive. In the postseason, Brock Nelson was horrible. We gave Dean Letourneau third line minutes, and he scored just 3 assists in 26 games. I know not all in third line minutes, but still. So Brock Nelson gone, Casey Cizikas gone, Palmieri now like 13th forward AHL. Anders Lee is pretty much the last one of that old guard. Not the originals, but of the old guard. And on the right wing here, the fourth line, Samuel Fadmo is going to get a chance. He's been in the organization for a few years now. In the AHL, doing decent numbers. He appeared in 10 games for us last season, 3 points. At an 81 overall, let's give him a chance and see if he can roll with it. But the 2.5-star defense does not make me super hopeful. That's why Kyle Palmieri, who's still around here, might end up finding himself in a full-time fourth-line role eventually. I don't know. Because although we need to give the youth a chance, Palmieri did score 20 goals and 37 points last year. So I won't be afraid to go to him if need be. All right, so there's the update on the forwards. Sorry to take up your time here. Over on defense, Vince Dunn will continue to have first pair minutes here on Long Island. He was a machine last year. 35 points in his first year with the Islanders with Noah Dobson playing with them. We ship out Dobson, and then when he is the guy, he puts up 70 points and is a plus 41, playing 25-32 per night. Take away his 8 special teams points, and that is 62 even strength points. 62. So Vince Dunn, hopefully he can do more of the same, because in the postseason he did not. 5 points in 24 games, so hopefully Vince Dunn can get back to what he's supposed to be doing. Alongside David Jiricek at a 90 overall as well. He's just a machine. Love David Jiricek. His first year with us was a great one. 23 points, plus 31, tons of hits, enough blocks, all that great stuff. That's the top pair. Second pair, Rasmus Sandin, still just an 83 overall. Why can he not grow? I don't know. He puts up 30 points last year, and in the playoffs, he scores 12 points in 26 games, 7 points in 7 games the postseason before that, so he has 19 points in, 33 postseason games? Is that it? Quick maths? And he's still just an 83 overall. But I digress. Ryan Pulock, another one who's around of the old, would you say old guard? I suppose. He's 33. He's a lifer here on Long Island, drafted in 2013. Yeah, Ryan Pulock, he'll play second pair this year with Sandin, 18 points and a plus 28 last year. On the third pair, Samuel Bolduc will continue to be our third pair rock, alongside the rookie Landon Dupont, as we got him in the massive trades of the 2027 draft, with Dobson going to Columbus, and the pick from Columbus going to Winnipeg, all of that got us the first overall selection. Landon Dupont, 4.5-star defense already for this now 6-foot 19-year-old with the medium franchise potential. I am excited for Dupont, but I'm also aware that, hey, he has 2.5-star puck skills, so the defense looks good, but I wonder if the offensive side of his game will already be there in simulation as an offensive defenseman. So he's an 84 overall, medium franchise potential, listed as a top 4D. We'll start him third pair with Bolduc, plus first unit power play. We'll see how that goes, and then I'm sure he'll move up the lineup over as time goes on. He's not really a great fit for the third pair either, so we would be wanting to get him into the top 4 sooner rather than later. And 7th D at the moment will continue to be Scott Mayfield, one of the, again, older guys, drafted in 2011. So Mayfield, Pulock, Lee, even Palmieri, all still around of the old guard. That's great to see. Mayfield was solid, but we just need to get ice time for Dupont, so maybe he comes in for Bolduc. If Bolduc doesn't do well, we'll see. Then finally for the goaltending, Ilya Sorokin, who we were not impressed with. He had an incredible postseason, so he'll stick around at least a little while longer. Now on a modified no-trade clause, so if we had to move him, that would be a possibility. He'll be backed up by Peter Marachik this year, so we'll have 2 veterans, as Marachik put up some good numbers last year with Chicago. Yeah, when it came down to simulation of the free agent goalies available, Peter Marachik stood out to me, so we signed him to a 1-year deal, $1.75 million. And as our third goalie this year, we will have 43-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury joining his buddy Evgeny Malkin. Fleury has appeared in just 12 NHL games in the last 4 years. He spent 3 seasons in the AHL and 2025-26 as the backup in Columbus. So just 12 appearances over the last 4 years, but at 43 years of age, he's not done yet, and he wants one last Stanley Cup. As you can see, 3-time Cup champion, Vezina, Jennings. Let's see if we can do it for him as third goalie, now at a 77 overall. So there's a recap on the team that is to start the season. Down in the AHL, guys like Othman, Arcuri could be called up if needed, even Nurmi, Gauthier. On defense, there's Arbor Jacki. He's been really good for us as 7th D the last few years, but now with Dupont coming in, it kind of pushes him to 8th D. So we'll see what happens there. And goaltending-wise, Ivankovic now to 75, medium potential. He's our future. He will be the starter. down in Bridgeport. Okay, so there is our team to begin the preseason, or at least moving towards the preseason. I always do a bit of a longer intro when starting off a new season, so if you're just joining us here in year number 5, you've been caught up on what's the majority of what's been going on here, at least with the personnel in our lineup. So just to run through a couple of quick comments from the AGMs in the last one before we get started on the first half of year number 5. Quinn said, great offseason. I think it works out that we didn't get Geeky. Geeky ended up being like 1 year at over $6 million and a full no movement clause, so I wouldn't have minded getting him, but we didn't. And as Quinn says, we'll now have more flexibility if we need to add depth scoring or even a power play specialist later on down the road in the season. If Geeky didn't work out, then we would have been on right on the salary cap, which would require someone being traded instead of added on if someone wasn't panning out. The only thing I would say is really watch these special teams. If we're not where we should be, don't be afraid to add another specialist for where we are lacking. Well said, Quinn. Thank you for adding that reminder. And one other comment coming in from Gen Z McKenzie says, I think Besser should go second line right wing, not first line right wing, and Martone should go first line right wing, so swapping Besser and Martone. If the first line is Yzerman, Horvat, and Besser, that's 3 guys who are/simulate like snipers, which means that one or multiple might not play to their full potential. Putting Martone on the first line offers a passing option to Yzerman and Horvat, and it facilitates his development as well. Barzal can then pass to Laine and Besser on the second line. Very well said. Very well articulated. Thank you, Gen Z McKenzie. So Besser and Martone will swap. It goes from +4/+4 to +3/4, but I think that'll be okay. Plus, we can always ask Martone to fix his... Is it Martone who's really the... We should ask Bo Horvat to fix his preferences to the first line. So yeah, once the season gets going, we'll do that. And we'll have Besser, Barzal, and Laine to start off the season as the second line. Yeah, because Besser is only right. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Like I said earlier on, too, could have Evgeny Malkin find his way in the top 6? Possibly. That's what pushed out Patrick Laine last year. But I'm hoping that Malkin is more of a full-time third liner this season, and we'll go from there. So let's start advancing to the first game of the preseason. The coach wants to talk to us, Lee Tsogas, who's been here since the beginning. What's up, Lee? Listen up, GM Data. They always come in bursting through the doors. We have a great opportunity this season to push hard from the start and run this team the way we want, as opposed to the way we don't want. Let's establish our goals and make sure we achieve them. All right, whatever you say, Chief. If you ever suggest anything else, he gets angry that you're even suggesting that he might not be Scotty Bowman. So, no problem. Leave it up to you. Give you the +10 of morale, which doesn't do anything for me. And we get to the first game of the preseason. So I'm just going to go ahead and set the special teams. They'll look like this. And here we go. So first unit like this. Cole Yzerman as the finisher. So hopefully he can get back into things because he had just 2 power play goals all last season. So if it's not working out, we'll change that quite quickly. Second unit on the power play looking like this. So Vince Dunn will be the playmaker, the distributor on the second unit, while Dupont gets the first unit. And then for the penalty kill, first unit will look like this. Horvat, Martone, Bolduc, Jiricek, the +1. Second unit, Barzal with Marchman, then Dunn and Pollock. And third unit will be Malkin, Besser, Sandin, and Dupont. So we'll go from there, see what happens in the preseason, maybe give some games to Palmieri, to Mayfield, whatever. Let's start simming through it, all right? So the lineup, as you saw it, game 1 of the preseason, Islanders and Hurricanes. First period, 1-0 Laine. Second period, 7-1, thank you very much. And third period ends 8-1. All right, there's a great way to start the preseason. All right, 8-goal game. 4 points from Besser, Barzal, and Laine. 2 from Marchman, 2 from Dunn, and then 1 from a bunch of other players. Dupont was a +4. I'm surprised that some players had no points in that one. A bunch of +4s. Sheesh. And Sorokin makes 22 saves on 23 shots. All right. Hard to change much after a game like that one. Let's try advancing a day. What happens now if we just sim through it here on the main screen? 4-0 loss, of course. Of course it's a 4-0 loss. So let's see. Sorokin will get this. Actually, no. Let's make some changes here very quickly now that we had a couple games under our belts. Here in the top 6, I wonder if Yzerman were to come down, how crazy that would be. Like, we really want Yzerman to be that guy. But, I don't know, an 86 is scaring me. Let's try Besser just for fun. I wonder, what if we try Martone, Besser, Horvat? Still the same philosophy that we made this lineup with the one playmaker, someone who's more of a passer, and 2 players who are more finishers, and then Barzal between 2 snipers. Let's try that. Third, bottom 6 I won't touch, except for Fagemo. We'll take him out for Palmieri. And the third pair, we'll take out Bolduc. He's been great, but we'll just take him out for Mayfield. And Dupont will stay there. And goaltending will go Miracek in this one, all right? Oh, so laggy, it's incredible. Here we go, against the Flyers. Let's sim this game. Maybe that'll give us some better luck. Marachik in the pipe, between the pipes for this one. All right, first period 2-1. Besser, Yzerman, second period 2-2, and then 4-2 the final. Done and Liney with the empty netter. Great, so those changes in the top 6 seem to do something, as both Yzerman and Besser score on the line that we placed them on. Okay. Now against the Penguins, the game keeps Marachik in for some reason. Don't know why. Actually, you know what? This is a great time to have Fleury go in. Preseason game against the Penguins. Malkin and Fleury for the first time together against their old team. So I'll keep Sorokin as backup. Come on, game. And Fleury will go as starter. 77 overall, 43-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury. Before we put you back in the NHL, let's give you a preseason game to just, wet your toes a little bit. Dip your toes. Wet your feet, dip your toes. First period 0-0. Second period 1-0. Martone gets the lone goal for us. Rutger McGroarty ties it on the power play to force overtime, and we win it with Dean Letourneau getting the OT winner. Really? Shots end 37-28 for the Penguins, but Marc-Andre Fleury makes 36 saves. Wow, the Flowers still got it. So nice to see from him. Very nice to see. Now it's October 1st, so I'll just go ahead and update the scouting before we get to this next game against the Devils. Whew, okay, 10 minutes later, that's done. Great. Advance the game against the Devils. They're 4-0 right now in the preseason. All right. Let's go back to the lineup. Mayfield did okay in those 2 games. 2 games plus 1. All right, well, let's get Bolduc back in here. And for the goaltending, we'll go back to Sorokin with, what's his name, Marachik backing him up. But for some reason, when you press on the quick swap, it's not going to let you do it. All right, I guess I'll have to do it manually. Why put in a system that would work, right? Okay. Let's go back to simulate. Let's just advance the day through this game against the Devils. On the road, 5-4 overtime win. All right, now against the Rangers, we'll sim through this one as well. If this could go any slower, that would be lovely. Hosting the Rangers, we win 4-2. Now we'll go to the last game, which will be up against the Capitals on the road. It's our last chance to make any other changes, but we're 5-1. I'm liking what we're seeing so far here. A little peek at the top 6, maybe. Martone, 3 points. Horvat, 7 points. Besser, 6 goals and 7 points. Great. Yzerman, 4. Barzal, 8. Line 8. That's all great. The third line, though. Belchet's 1 goal. Malkin, 3 assists. And Marchman, 3 points. Fourth line, not great either. So yeah, the bottom 6 is so-so here. So Palmieri, 4 games, 1 goal plus 1. Let's get, sorry, not Mayfield. Let's get Fagemo back in here. He appeared in, what, 2 games? Yeah, let's give him 1 more for a 3rd game. Sorokin, so-so. Let's give another chance to Marachik. And on defense, I suppose we'll keep Bolduc. Again, any slower. What's going on today? 4 games, 2 assists, plus 4. Yeah, Bolduc will stay. Any other changes for defense, though? Vince Dunn, 8 points. Awesome. Plus minuses look okay. All right, so it's just pretty much the bottom 6 scoring that isn't great, but nothing else to be too concerned about. We'll sim through this game against the Capitals, and then I think before we start the season, we got to think about our captaincies as well. That was another big question in the last one. First period 2-2, second period no scoring, third period no scoring, overtime nothing, shootout, and the Caps win despite being outshot 48-26. The Caps come away with the victory. So we scored only 2 goals in this one. Besser and Fagemo scoring the goals. Yep. Plus minuses, -1s from Belchet's, Marchment, Pollock, Malkin, Sandin. So that third line, the bottom 6 in general, was not impressive. But through the entirety of the preseason, we go 5-1-1. Okay. And if we check out the point totals, Besser, Line, Dunn, Horvat, and Barzal all scored 8 points in 7 games. And then there's a drop-off to half as many. Martone, Yzerman with 4, Marchment, Yurchek, Malkin, even Dupont all with 3, plus 7 though from Dupont, that's nice. Pollock, Bolduc, Sandin, Lee all with 2. Fagemo 1 goal in 3 games plus 1. Palmieri 1 goal in 4 games, -1. Okay. Belchet's 1 goal, -1, 13 penalty minutes. Come on, Ethan Belchet's. There's not a guarantee that you're sticking in this lineup. He'll get his 7 games, but if he's an 80 overall who's just not ready yet, then we'll send him back down. Letourneau 1 goal, Mayfield 2 games plus 1, that's nice. And for the goaltending, Sorokin 3-1, 888 save percentage. Marachik 1-0-1, 920. And Fleury, of course, 1 game, 1 win, 972. So Marachik, I mean, Sorokin wasn't so bad that Marachik will take over, no. But Marachik did show us some good things in the preseason, as Sorokin will continue to be our starter. And I think that's our lineup to start the season. Palmieri looked good, Mayfield looked good, but I liked Fagemo, I liked Bolduc. We'll sim to our first game. Actually, in just a moment, because now we got to think about our captaincies. So last year, Brock Nelson was the captain, of course. Now Nelson is gone, and we have 3 alternates at the moment. Malkin and Lee, who were both alternates last year, and now Bo Horvat, who was an alternate when we started our franchise mode in year 1. He lost it in year 2. We kept him off. We kept it off of him, yes, in years 3 and 4, I believe. I don't think he had an A since year 1. Unless it was year 2 when we took it away, but it's been at least a couple seasons that he has no letter. So Horvat will receive a letter. He gets the A back after he's had back-to-back 40-plus goal seasons. He's been our leader in a lot of different ways. But my question now is, does he get the captaincy? Malkin and Lee will be gone as soon as next season, possibly. Barzal, Pollock, even Sandin, Dunn, maybe, I don't know, Besser, guys like that. They could all be in the running for some letters. But for who is our captain now and into the future, who's still going to be here long enough, I think it stands out that Bo Horvat is that guy. The former captain of the Canucks, our leader, again, like I just said, in many different ways, up to our first-line guy now after back-to-back 40-plus goal seasons. I think I'm ready to name Bo Horvat as the next captain of our organization. There have been some calls in the comments to say give it back to Anders Lee, but I'm trying to say that this year, now that Brock Nelson is gone and Cizikas has retired, now is the year in which we move to our next captain in franchise history. Kind of like on the Canadians, you know that Gallagher's the guy, but Suzuki gets the C. You know that Anders Lee, in a lot of different ways, is the leader to many people in that locker room. But for who will wear the C on his chest, who is the captain moving into the next, I don't know, maybe even 5+ years. He's at 31, so it could be. I think that is Big Bo Horvat, captain of the New York Islanders to begin 2028-29. Congratulations, Big Bo. Very well deserved for Mr. Top 50. And we'll start moving towards the regular season now. All right. So still some questions to be answered on Belchet's and other players. Dupont's spot in the lineup, etc. But we're ready to get going. Now this is what, October 14th? Okay, so my next scouting report is November 12th. Okay, so the first game of the regular season, already an injury down in the AHL. Awesome. We'll do head coach replaces there. We'll go into edit lines. I think I have to wait 5 games until we can have the conversations about player fit, so I won't have those conversations yet. Belchet's, you're playing with Malkin and Marchment. You have the +1. Go out there and capture the spot in this lineup. Defense will stay the same. Goaltending will be Sorokin, backed up by Marachik. Okay, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off our 5th season. As reigning Eastern Conference champions, coming off of that Stanley Cup Final loss, here we go for our first game of the season at UBS Arena on Long Island to begin 28-29, facing the Hurricanes. First period, and it's 3-1 Hurricanes after 20. 3 goals on 7 shots. Oh my goodness, Fogle, Rubric, and Aho shorthanded. Mason Marchment, though, in his first game as an Islander, does score, so at least there's that in his Islanders debut. Oh my goodness, 3 goals on 7 shots. After Sorokin proved himself in the postseason, he's going to be... I already can look at the comments. I'm already looking into the future. Bo Horvat on the power play scores his first as captain, and second period ends 4-2. Those Aho gets his second. I'm already looking at the comments after this one at the halfway point. Time to trade Sorokin with his modified no-trade clause, get a better goalie or something, whatever, someone more trustworthy in the sim. I'm already seeing the comments. But hold on, Sorokin. You still have 40 games to go. All right, this one ends 6-2 as Aho scores 4 goals. Is that it? Yeah, 4 goals from Sebastian Aho in our home arena. 4 goals from Aho as Ilya Sorokin allows 6 goals on 27 shots. A nice, juicy 778 save percentage to start off the season. Oh, serenity now, serenity now, serenity now. Okay, sim to next game. Let's try and shake that one off entirely. I'll give it one more slow sim. Sorokin's going to get... Actually, no. The game's giving it to Marachik, sorry. So I'm going to let the coach do his thing. Sogis is giving it to Marachik. I'm going to let him do his thing. Cannot speak here. First period, 2-0 Red Wings. Veleno and Danielson. Second period, 4-2, 2 goals apiece. Line A for us. Edmondson and Brodzinski for them. Brock Besser shorthanded for us. We're down by 2 here in the third period with shots in our favor. But I'm not going to wait for this whole thing. 5-4 the final. We scored twice. Dupont with his first career NHL goal. The captain ties it on the power play. Then Radek Faksa gets the game winner. 5 on 27 past Marachik. Great way to start the season as both goalies have sub 800 save percentages. Wonderful. So now for our third game of the season, as we're still looking for our first win. Reigning Eastern Conference champs, 0-2 in disgusting fashion to start the season. We're giving this game... Oh, no, we'll give next game to Fleury. Okay, Sorokin gets this one against the Blues. And then Fleury gets the next game in Pittsburgh as Malkin and Fleury return to PPG Paints Arena. So first period, of course, down 3-1. Horvat scores, of course, for us, but it's 4-4 finally. Dupont, Martone, Fagimo, thank you. 4-4 game after 40. The slow sim's been hating us here. Power play Blues. Extended power play, of course. Let's take some majors. Bo Horvat scores again. The captain wants to beat his 44 goals from last year. 5-4 Isles. We're being outshot 36-27 halfway through the third, but we have a 1-goal lead thanks to the captain, Otto Stenberg, Starfleet legend, ties it at 5 with our live stream Starfleet series on NHL 24. Final 15 seconds, we're off to overtime. Shots are 40-31 for the Blues. 3-on-3 OT action here at home to end the 3-game homestand. Shootout, and the Blues win 6-5. Wow, 0-2-1 start the season as we are letting goals in like crazy. Yeah? Let's advance this game against the Penguins. And Fleury going in won't be the only change we make here. Come on, what is going on? Let me see here. Martone has 3 points plus 5. That's great. So the first line, good plus minuses, good points, everything. Second line, Yzerman, -6 with 1 assist. Barzal, 1 assist, -3. Line A, 3 points, -2. Belchet's 3 games, -5. Malkin, 1 assist, -4. What is going on? Fourth line, all -3s and 4s. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, Lee is coming out for Palmieri. Palmieri and Fagemo are swapping. On the third line, Yzerman and... You know what? If Belchet's is going to make it, let's give him second line minutes. Belchet's, Barzal, line A, Marchman, Yzerman, Malkin. So changes in the bottom 9. And then on defense, Vince Dunn, 1 assist, -1, okay. -2 from Yurchek, -2 from Sandin, -1 from Pollock, -3 from Boldzuk, -4 from Zupon despite his 4 points. So Boldzuk out, Mayfield in, and we'll swap the sides here as now Marc-Andre Fleury comes in as well. Sorokin and Marachik. Sorokin, take the night off. Fleury will go in, and there you go. Sheesh! Come on now. At PPG Paints Arena, as Malkin and Fleury return to Pittsburgh. Possibly for the first time for Marc-Andre Fleury. He only had 12 appearances with the Blue Jackets. Did he start any in Pittsburgh in those 12? We don't know. So here we go. First period, looking for our first win of the season. The Penguins are up 1-0. Drake Batherson after 20. Second period, no scoring. Shots are 29-20 for us, but we're down 1-0 as Marc-Andre Fleury is giving us a chance here. Power play. Thank you, Matty Barzal. His first of the year to tie this game up at 1. The shot now 38-22, getting close to double territory. Halfway through the third, power play, Penguins killed off by the Isles. 6 minutes to go. Shots now 40-26. Next one's the winner with under a minute to go now. We're off to overtime shots and 45-26. Nedeljkovic standing on his head. 3-on-3 OT action here in Pittsburgh. And we're once again off to the shootout as Nedeljkovic makes 46 saves and Fleury makes 31. In the shootout, hey, we take it. Bo Horvat the winner. It's our first win of the season. And of course, 77 overall Marc-Andre Fleury will outperform our 89 overall Ilya Sorokin. Of course he will. Thank you, Marc-Andre. Marc-Andre, merci beaucoup. All right, so that's our first win of the year. We're 1-2-1. I'm going to keep the tandem. I don't know. Would it be crazy to make Fleury start again? Hold on. Let's advance to our next game. Let's do that first here against the Sharks. They're 3-0. The game is giving it to Marachik, but I'm going to give another one to Marc-Andre Fleury. Let's do it without going into the slow sim. Okay, so I put Fleury in. Let's just advance the day with Fleury in at home against the Sharks. Jack Drury on waivers. What's up with Jack Drury? 80 overall, signed on for $1.2 million. Not a bad fourth line option. We do have Brendan Othman, though, already as that 80 overall depth guy. And we don't really need a center because Letourneau's already there. Arcuri's already at center. So Jack Drury would make a lot of sense for most teams. But for us, I think we can go ahead and pass on him. Here we go, hosting the Sharks. 3-2 win. Let's go. Fleury now a .954 save percentage. We're going to keep him in. The game wants to change him, but we're not going to. Let's keep Fleury in. You know what? I'm even turning off auto goalie rotate. I'm at that point. I'm at that point already. I've seen enough in the 2 or 3 games in my franchise mode experience. I've seen enough to say, let's give Fleury the next 5 games, and let's not even think about having to put Sorokin and Marachik in. Fleury's going to start. We'll give Sorokin the backup, but Marachik will sit. Okay, so 2 more games until Belchet's has played. I said 7 games. Sorry, it's 9 games. What am I saying? So you actually have 4 more games. Belchet's playing a second-line role, has 4 more games to impress us. All right, so Marc-Andre Fleury going to be starting the next few games here in Buffalo against the Sabres, who are 1-4. 7-1 win. Okay. Malkin's healthy down in the AHL. Okay, that's good. Let's keep it going here against the Lightning, who are 5-1. Let's advance the day again. here at home. 5-4 win. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. Fleury's 4 for 4. He can't go forever, but let's see how long it goes here. Now hosting Dallas for 4, 5, 6, 7. This is game number 8 of the year. 4-3 win. Keep it rolling. Ali Marc-Andre away. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the final game of Belchetz's trial. Here we go on the road in Detroit, and it's a 2-1 overtime loss. So the first game that Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't come away with a W, but he still has a .931 save percentage and 2.12 goals against average. This game is so broken. We love it, though. We love it. All right, so Ethan Belchetz, in 9 games, what did you do, big boy? 1 goal, -3. I don't know. Playing second line left wing, and second unit power play. 1 goal, -3. I don't know. Martone even only 4 points from him. Horvat has 10. Besser has 10. But then Barzal, Laine, Yzerman. The plus-minuses have not been great either. That's what's really hurting us, too. Yzerman has 1 goal and is at -5. I'm ready to trade Cole Yzerman. Okay, Yzerman needs ice time. So, Yzerman, I'm putting you back in the top 6. I'm not sure about Belchetz yet, but Yzerman, you're going back to the top 6. Is that just a defensive nightmare to have Yzerman, Barzal, and Laine all on the same line? Is that just it? I don't know. Yzerman seems to seem like a playmaker. So you know what? Let's put him on the top line. And we're going to go Martone, Barzal, Laine, Yzerman, Horvat, Besser. That's how I thought we were going to start the year. But Yzerman seems to seem more like a playmaker. So the issue that Jenzy McKenzie raised at the beginning that I agreed with doesn't seem to be there at the moment. And on the fourth line, Fagemo. What? 4 goals, 6 points from Fagemo. Okay. Letourneau 4 assists. Palmieri 4 points in 6 games plus 7. So the fourth line is killing it. And on defense, Dunn 4 points, even plus minus. Jiricek -2. Sandin +3. Pollock +3. Dupont +1 now, good. And Mayfield +4. So I think we'll keep the defense the same. And Fleury's been a machine. So really, my biggest question mark is just Ethan Belchetz. And you know what? It's going to come down to what the AGMs have to say. The on-call AGMs in the Discord server are going to get a ping. I'll ask them, and we'll see what they say after about maybe, 10 minutes of waiting to see what they vote on. So after consulting with the AGMs, the vote seems to be overwhelmingly in favor of sending Ethan Belchetz down to the AHL. He's now 20, so he doesn't have to go back to juniors, but let's send him to the AHL, let him develop with first-line minutes, and allow him to come back stronger for his rookie year next season, or maybe just later on this season. But for right here, right now, let's send him down. So if that were to happen, Mason Marchment would move to the left wing on the third line. Samuel Fagemo, who's been incredible, I'm going to say let's move him up to the third line. And the fourth line becomes kind of like a bit of a reunion here. Lee, Letourneau, and Palmieri. No Cizikas, no Nelson, but 6'7" Dean Letourneau between the two veterans here, Lee and Palmieri, as Fagemo will get a chance to say, hey, what you doing there on the fourth line? Can you do that with a little bit more ice time? I wonder. So I'll give him third line minutes. We're going to go ahead and send down Ethan Belchetz. And then what I'm going to do is call up Brennan Othman, and he will now play as 13th forward. So Othman's spot on the first line left wing will now go to Ethan Belchetz, so he can just easily replace him. Doesn't have to mess up any of our lines, and it's an easy fix down in the AHL. I'm going to make sure that he's playing literally everywhere down in the AHL, and then we'll get back to simulation. Okay, that's done. Here we go. AHL lineup and NHL lineup. Okay, now I'm really curious about Samuel Fagemo, how he can do when given a bit more of a role there. 4 goals and 6 points so far through 9 games. We're 5-2-2, with Marc-Andre Fleury just being a man possessed right now. We'll keep him between the pipes until we have a back-to-back, so we're going to give him 3 more games at least. And we'll go from there. Actually, I'm going to stop on the 12th because that's when the scouting reports are done, not the 13th. All right, 3 more games for Marc-Andre Fleury. In Toronto, 4-1 loss. We're going to fix that down in the AHL. Kale is back. Back to it now. 4-3 win against the Blue Jackets, and then hosting the Senators, 5-2 win. All right, so we're 7-3-2. Great. Another pause here as I have to update the scouting, but just to see a quick little peek at things. Marc-Andre Fleury, .925 save percentage. Crazy. All right, give me a quick minute. As in like 10 to 15 minutes as I just snap my fingers for you. Oh man, what a job. Okay, there's the next scouting report done till January, so that's it for this episode, thankfully. Let's keep, I don't know, do we keep Fleury in for this one? No, I'm going to take Fleury out for the game against the Lightning. And then we'll get him back in against the Flyers and onwards. So this is Sorokin's one chance, or at least make us think twice about, okay, maybe we should go, start resting Fleury a little bit or something. But if he falls apart and Fleury continues to dominate, well then we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. So the 77 overall who's been amazing comes out for the 89 overall who's been terrible. What else is new in franchise mode world? Advance today here, not hosting, we're against the Lightning. And Vince Dunn is out until the 3rd of the sprained ankle, so he's out, that's like 3 weeks. Oh boy, Vince Dunn. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so let me evaluate this. Let's go to defense. It's going to be Rasmus Sandin coming up with the top pair to play with Yurchek. Huge moment for Sandin. And here's Zupon's moment as well, as he'll get top 4 minutes. Now, he's been waiting for that. 6 points. Ooh, didn't he have 6 points in like 9 games? Scoreless last... Oh, okay, it's not the end of the world, but just to say. 6 points. And now the old duo of Boldzuk and Mayfield will also return. So Boldzuk, Mayfield on the third pair, Dupont, Pellick on the second, Sandin, Yurchek on the top pair, and I'll fix up the rest of the changes that have to be made with Dunn out. Okay, so Sandin will get a lot of opportunities here, and Dupont getting some more ice time too. Against the Lightning, we win 2-1 in the shootout. All right, so at least we can think twice about Marc-Andre Fleury if he starts to fall apart a little bit. So the leash on Fleury got a little bit shorter there. Just a little bit, but not enough to make us say we're doing a full-time swap just yet. Fleury goes back. He's been dominating. He will continue to get the chance to show us that he is not done yet at his age. Besser leading the team with 17 points through 13 games so far. Machine. And we'll get back to it. So that's how many games now? That's 13 games. Let's do a handful more. Let's get the next back-to-back action. Let's do 3 more with Fleury. We'll go Sorokin again. So 5-4 win against the Flyers in Philly. Hosting the Devils, 6-3 win. And then in LA for a little Western Conference swing. Starts with a 5-4 win on the road. Now we'll go Sorokin for the next, let's say, 2 games. I hope the episode isn't getting too long from all the choppiness of having to start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. But now we'll go back to Sorokin, like I said, for 2 games. He's coming off of a 2-1 shootout victory the last time that he played. So if we go through this game against the Ducks on the road, they're 6-7-2. 6-4 win. It's a win, but we allow 4 goals against a bad team. Now we're in Calgary to face the 10-6-0 Flames before Fleury gets to the Oilers. Against the Flames, we lose 5-3. Sorokin, in 5 appearances, has an .862 save percentage and 3.88 goals against average. Meanwhile, Marc-Andre Fleury, in how many appearances now? It takes so long to get there. Fleury in 12 appearances has a .917 save percentage and 2.7 goals against average. So Fleury back to starting. Great, no problem with me. And back to the calendar. Through 18 games. So you know what? Let's do 2 more, and we'll pause just to check the rest of the team stats. In Edmonton, and then hosting the Bruins. Against the Oilers, we're 9-4-4. Sore foot can replace there. 3-2 shootout win there. Go over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Actually, no, sorry, I'm going to say it's November. Sorry. Then a 5-3 win. Just so happened it was 24-25. 5-3 win against the Bruins. We are 14-4-2. How do you do through 20 games? I love that record. Now let's check out the points. .919 save percentage from Fleury. 31 points from Brock Besser. Who is this man? This top line is incredible. Besser 31, Horvat 26, Good Morning Cole Eiserman with 21 points, Barzal 18, -6, okay, Line 16, Malkin 13, Pollock with 11, okay, leading all defensemen in points, Dupont with 10 and a +2, Martone has only 1 goal. Oh, come on. 1 goal and 9 points. I suppose Horvat and Besser with 14 goals each. I guess that's taking up all the goal scoring. Fajmo has 8 points in 20 games. Hasn't done much. Is that like 1 goal and 1 assist since being put on the third line? So not much, but 8 points and a +6 in 20 games. I'll take that. Sandin has 6 assists since Dunn got injured. And Dunn played how many games? So in 7 games, Sandin has 6 assists. That's a +10 now. Palmieri, 7 points in 17 games. Machine again. Dunn, 7 points +1. Yurchek, 7 points +3. Marchman, 6 points and an even ±. Okay, Letourneau, 6 points. Mayfield, 2 points in 17 games and a +6. Lee, 1 goal, -3 in 14 games. Boldzuk, 1 assist +1 in 10 games. All right. And goaltending, of course, Fleury, 12-1-1. .919 save percentage, 2.66 goals against average, while Sorokin has an .862 save percentage and 3.88 goals against average, and Marachik 814 with a 5.09 in his 1 appearance. So Marachik you really can't judge, but Sorokin, I know it's only 5 games, but we're going back to last season as well. And of course it's showing me Marachik's numbers with Sorokin clipped on. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, the last cup from 913 to 910 to 905, now to 862. He's been trending downward. We can't deny that. But he was great in the playoffs. Fleury's still been doing well, so I don't think we need to force ourselves to make a trade. Fleury's been doing okay, doing great even, and Sorokin's going to be hoping to get his spot back if we give him that chance. I don't want to make any rash judgments yet before the AGMs get a chance. We look at trade blocks and stuff like that. We could also look at players adapting to the coach, but I don't know. Things have been going well. I don't want to mess with a good thing here. So I'm going to go back to the calendar with Fleury as the starter, and we'll keep on going towards the halfway point. No more back-to-backs for a little bit, so let's go to the next back-to-back, which is, what, like 3 weeks away? Dunn will be healthy by then as well. Hosting the Maple Leafs, actually he's healthy right now. Great. So he was out for 8 games. 4-3 win there against the Leafs. So in those 7 games, we saw that Sandin had scored 6 points. In 8 games, did he do anything else? Yes, he did. So Sandin, maybe we keep him up here. Is it all even strength? Yeah, almost entirely. Look at is it game logs or split stats? Split stats. Over the last 10 games, he has 9 points and is a +8. So 8 of those 10 games have been with Vince Dunn being out. If you look at the game logs here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last 8 games. So yeah, in the last 10 games, in the last 8 games, yeah, because he had nothing before that, he has all those points in the last 10 games. Yeah, he's a +12. So I might say let's keep Sandin and Jiricek. I don't know. Zupon's been doing really well too. And Pollock's been leading the team in offense. Vince Dunn, I'd almost play you third pair, man. Oh, I know we can't do that. But wow. So I guess I'm going to put Zupon back down to play with Mayfield. We'll put him on this side here. And I'm going to bring in Dunn to play with Pollock. Yeah. And Sandin will stay top pair with Jiricek. Dunn will go back everywhere that he's been, power play, etc. But at even strength, let's keep Sandin up there. I wonder. On power play, I will put Dunn back in the power play. So Sandin will get his first pair minutes, but Dunn will get back his special teams minutes. All right, back to full health. Well, and we're also passing December 1st. Let me pause the sim so I can go back to where we've been. Okay, 4-3 overtime win, then a 3-2 loss in New York against the Rangers. Let's keep on going with Fleury being our guy here. In Toronto against the 10-8-3 Maple Leafs. 4-3 win there. Hosting the Predators. Hold on, injury... Now back to full health in the AHL. And how has Belchet's been doing? Just curious to get a little peek on him down in the AHL. He has 8 points in 12 games as a +2. And his ice time playing 21-12. Good. That's what we want to be seeing from Ethan Belchet. Keep it up, buddy. Okay, back to the calendar again. Let me stop once more. Okay, so then a 6-4 loss. Yikes. Followed by a good bounce back, but a 2-1 shootout loss against the Flyers. Let's give one more game to Fleury before Sorokin gets the Devils. Fleury will host the Kings here. And Jesse Ylonen, excuse me, on waivers. 79 overall. For all the same reasons I turned down Jack Drury, I'm going to turn down Jesse Ylonen as well. Hosting the 6-19-1 Kings. We beat them 4-1. I sure hope so. Aitchison in 2 seconds for Dylan Strome in a third. Keep that in mind when you think about trades at the end of this episode. Interesting offer there from the Seattle Kraken. We're thinking about second-line center. I wonder what his overall is if he could be that guy. So here against the Devils, we're going to give a chance to Ilya Sorokin. Fleury with his .920 save percentage does not look to be slowing down at 44 years of age now. He's 44 if you just caught that. Maybe the slow sim's going to help Sorokin? I don't know. Let's try a slow sim here as we host the Devils. I don't know. Let's do it. Here we go. First period 2-1, Martone and Besser. A rare goal from Porter Martone. Second period 2-2, Kiefer Sherwood ties it. Third period, we're out shooting the Devils 29-21 to open up the period. Power play opportunity here, killed off by the Devils. 2-2 game, both goalies doing well, but no goals since the first period. Actually, scratch that. Manny Barzal halfway through the third puts us up. Now power play Devils killed off by the Islanders. Is that enough with 5 to go? It should be as Besser adds the insurance marker. 4-2 the final. We out to the Devils 43-32, and Sorokin gets third star honors even with 30 saves. 2 goals from Besser, a goal and 2 assists from Barzal to get him first star honors there. Cool. Okay. So Fleury gets the sends, but I don't know, maybe we give a bit more of like 2 or 3 games to Sorokin as opposed to just 1 here and there. I don't know. It's such an enigma. Such a mystery. As Fleury will go back to being our starter, we'll give him the Senators. Advance today here in Ottawa. They're 15-11-0 at the Canadian Tire Center. We win 4-3 in overtime. Now, how do the next few games look? Let's give I guess we'll give some Western Conference matchups to Sorokin. If it's more to find out, are we trading him at the deadline than anything? It's not to say, okay, Fleury, you're slowing down, let's give you a break. Not really, actually. It's more to say, are we considering an actual Sorokin trade at the deadline? That's why we're giving him some more games. So let's go back to the calendar. And I'll say, let's start him off with 3 games. Let's give him the Predators, the Wild on the road, and then the Ducks at home. Let's see that. Against the Preds, 11-15-2. We beat them 6-1. Facing the Wild, 5-4 overtime loss. And then hosting the Ducks, 5-4 shootout win. So allows 1, then allows 4 back-to-back. So 9 goals allowed over 3 games for Ilya Sorokin. That's 3 goals against on average. On the road in Columbus, I'm going to give him the Blue Jackets as well. Back-to-back games beyond regulation. In Columbus, 3-2 overtime loss. 3 consecutive games beyond regulation. 1 last game here for Sorokin before I go to Marc-Andre Fleury for another little spell. And we got shut out 5-0. I don't know. Man, up and down, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Nothing of consistency whatsoever. As Sorokin now has an 882 save percentage, 6 wins in 12 appearances, while Fleury has 15 wins in 22 appearances. And I think his save percentage went down a little bit. He must have come in relief for Sorokin somewhere in there. So, yeah, okay, let's advance today. I want to go see the game against the Blackhawks. We're facing the Sabres here at home, 18-2 are the Sabres. We beat them 5-3. The final game of the year 2028 here against one of Fleury's former teams, the Blackhawks. They're 18-15-3. We're 22-7-5. Let's sim this one with Fleury between the pipes to finish off the year here on New Year's Eve. First period, 2-0 Isles, Horvat and Lee. Second period, 2-0 remains against Jet Greaves, former Islanders' third goalie. Third period, up 2-0, power play Isles. That's killed off by the Hawks. Here, as the clock is getting close to midnight, fans are watching on the big screens at Times Square. Everyone's excited for the new year, 2029. Let's do it. Final 5 minutes, power play Islanders again. Killed off once more. Don't you dare tell me. In the year 2028, 2028 AD, Marc-Andre Fleury at 44 years of age gets a shutout. His first shutout, I don't know since how long, but it's a 30-save shutout for Fleury and the Islanders to close off the year. The calendar year, that is. First star honors. Greaves makes 35 saves, but not enough as Anders Lee. Was that the game winner from him with that lone goal for third star? Oh my goodness, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. From 916 back to a 919 save percentage for Marc-Andre Fleury through, how many games have been played now? If we go over here, through 35 games played. So let's go back to the calendar to finish off the first half of the season as we move into the new year. 36, 37, 38 against the Bruins, 39 against the Avalanche, 40 against the Jets. We'll give one more game to Sorokin somewhere in there. So on the road facing Tampa, 4-2 win. Hosting the Penguins, Fleury between the pipes, 4-2 win again. Samuel Johansson on waivers, a defenseman. We have Jack Guy already. Yeah, 78, we'll be able to pass on him, no problem. Now in Boston at TD Garden against the Bruins, 4-2 win, 3 consecutive 4-2 wins, but then a 6-5 loss against the Avs. Again, the team that, we should have gone to see them. I'm sorry. We should have gone to see them. Okay, now 26-8-5. Sorokin will get this start. Will this be his final start as an Islander? We'll find out. Going up against the 21-14-2 Jets. Fleury with his 916 save percentage, 2.71 goals against average. Wow, what a story. The flowers are in bloom. All right, Sorokin, possibly his last start as an Islander. Here we go. On the road against the Jets, who are 21-14-2 against Connor Hellebuck with his 913 save percentage, 3.04 goals against. Let's do it. Let's carve him up. We know how to do this. First period, 2-0 Isles, Barzal and Fagemo. Second period, 4-3. Thank you, Besser. Thank you, Martone. But 3 goals allowed, 2 on the power play there, 3 on 27 past Sorokin. We're up by 1, being outshot 27-20. 4-3 Isles, 5-3 Matty Barzal, 2-goal lead. Power play Isles as well, make it 6 as that power play expires, and we'll come away with the 6-4 victory. 4 goals on 35 shots past Sorokin, okay. 2 goals and 2 assists for Barzal, 2 goals from Porter Martone, and we win 6-4. Now moving into the final game of the first half, 40 games down, 1 more to go. Letourneau has a neck strain, out for, like a couple of weeks, a week and a half? So Dean Letourneau will be out. That means we got to call somebody up, correct? No, actually Brennan Othman is there. Othman will come in on the wing, and Anders Lee will go at center since he can play down the middle. Yeah, so Brennan Othman will come in right here to make his Islanders debut. Great. No big issue there. All right, so a 6-4 victory. That was game number 40. So the last game of the season, do we give Fleury the Canadians? If we were in Montreal, I'd say Fleury, but we're hosting the Canadians. Sorokin looked okay. Let's give him one more, possibly his last game at home as an Islander. We got to give him more of a sample size if we are going to really consider a serious trade. So let's do one more for Sorokin to end off the first half of the season. First period, 2-0 Isles. Yzerman scores twice. Second period, 3-1. Slavkovsky for them. Fagemo for us. We're up by 2 here in the third. Power play Canadians. Killed off by the Isles, but then Lane Hudson scores soon after. Power play Canadians as well. 2 in the first 5 minutes. Suzuki power play goal, and it's 3-3. Islanders power play for ourselves. Now that's killed off by the Canadians. Cole Yzerman completes the hat trick. That's 3 out of the 4 goals going to Cole Yzerman. Power play Canadians late, and Kirby Dach scores as it expires. 4 on 24 past Ilya Sorokin. And no, Bo Horvat says no overtime for us. The captain ends it on home ice. 5-4 victory with 26 seconds left. The captain wins it. Yzerman 3 goals and an assist. Horvat a goal and 2 assists, including the game winner. And big Brock Besser with 3 assists to win it 5-4 the final. Sorokin, though, did not look great. We have to admit that. But let's start looking at the stats here. Woo, is there a lot to be excited about? Is there a lot to be excited about? Wow. So through the first half of the season, ladies and gentlemen, of our 5th year here on Long Island, we are 28-8-5, sitting atop the National Hockey League with a pace of 56-16-10 over the course of an 82-game season. Goals for per game, we sit 4th in the NHL at 3.73. Goals against per game, we sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, well, yeah, 12. It depends if you're saying teams are tied or whatever. But 12th in the league in goals against at 3.1 against per game. Power play percentage at 19.1% puts us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11th in the league for power play percentage, okay? And the penalty kill, at 79.4. That could definitely be stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th worst penalty kill in the league. We're the best team in the league, but we have the 7th worst penalty kill. So the penalty kill has to improve. Mason Marchment, I don't know what he's doing, but there's only one of him. We got 3 units. So we should definitely think about that for any trade targets. But now let's check out, oh my goodness, the point totals. Brock Besser is on pace for 108 points. A career high of, 73? And he's on pace for 108. If I didn't have to pause the episode, I'd say I don't want to turn off the PlayStation. Let's just keep things rolling. 54 points in 41 games from Brock Besser. How's the ice time? Yeah, it's a lot. 21-26, but it's not like it's 5 more minutes than usual. Brock Besser is leading the way. Crazy. I love that signing for us now in, his 4th season with us? Amazing. Bo Horvat himself on pace for 92 points, 50 goals and 92 points, mind you. Big Bo as captain. I said he was 31 earlier on in the episode when I named him captain. He's 33. My bad. But he can still definitely have the captaincy for years to come. Matty Barzal on pace for 90 points. Cole Yzerman on pace for only 24 goals, but 90 points. Patrick Laine on pace for 80 points. So our top 5 scorers all on pace for 80-plus points. Porter Martone, and by the way, Laine only 3 power play points. Huh. Yeah, the second unit power play not seeming to do much there. Porter Martone, 28 points on pace for, after what he scored 61 last year, on pace for 56 now. He's a plus 21, okay. Malkin on pace for 50, playing 13:34 of ice time per night, okay. Rasmus Sandin has woken up in a big way since getting placed on the top pair. 19 points and a plus 17 from Rasmus Sandin. If you look at his last 10 games, so last 10 games, 5 points. The 10 games before that, he had, 9 points, something like that? So we're talking like 14 points in his last 20 games or something? Wow. Fagemo, 12 goals and 18 points right now. Keep it up, man. Vince Dunn, 18 points and a plus 9 in 33 games. Good, very nice. Zupon has 16 points and is a plus 5 in his rookie season on pace for 32 points, playing 18-12 of ice time per night. Now at an 86 overall already. Ooh, boy. Ryan Pulock, so he's no longer our top scoring defenseman, but still 16 points and a plus 16 from him. That's a big surprise from the 34-year-old. Mason Marchment, 13 points on pace for 26. He scored 27 goals last year. He scored 4 right now, on pace for 8. I don't know. Is Mason Marchment the guy that we hoped he would be? I don't know. Kyle Palmieri has 11 points himself, averaging 8:45 of ice time. What a machine. Yurchek, 11 points plus 8. Letourneau, 10 points in 40 games. Mayfield 6 plus 10 in 38. Lee 4 negative 10. Eesh in 35. Boldzuk 1 assist in 11 games. And Brennan Othman 1 game negative 1 with a minor penalty. Goaltending, Marc-Andre Fleury at 44 years of age is 24-3 with a shutout, a .916 save percentage, and 2.71 goals against average. Meanwhile, Ilya Sorokin in 15 appearances is 8-3-2, but with an .882 save percentage and 3.42 goals against average. Yeah, I don't know. After the playoffs, he was great. He looked so good. .920 save percentage, 2 shutouts, 2.57 goals against. I love the storyline of Fleury, but we need someone who could be our starter for the next, at least 2 seasons before Ivankovic comes up. And Marachik is whatever in his 1 appearance. We have to really consider, if there's a Sorokin trade, it has to be for someone that we can have as our starter for at least another couple of years. Brock Besser is sitting, that's tied for second, 30s, 4th in league scoring right now. Sebastian Aho has 31 goals and 67 points. My goodness. And for the defenseman scoring, Adam Fox leading the way right now there too. And for goaltenders, most wins. Is Fleury up there? Yeah, he's up there. He's definitely up there. Keep it up, big boy. Okay, so to end off the episode, I don't know how long this episode's been. After I do editing, I'll find out. There's been a lot of start, stop, but hopefully it hasn't been too tough. We can think about a few things into the next episode. Number one, any conversations that we want to have. Are there any players that we need to fit the coach's scheme or what? So let me know what you think about that. For potential fits, special teams, whatnot, for the maybe any extensions coming up. Who is extension eligible here? So all expiring deals. So Porter Martone would need a contract. We could just qualify him. We don't need to feel pressured right now. He would want 4 years at 7.25. We could probably get him down. If we did a 4-year deal, keep him as an RFA, we could probably get down to like 6.25 or 6.45, something like that range. At 3 years, he wants 6.9, which would let us get down to like maybe 5.85 type of thing. So maybe a 3 or 4 year extension for Porter Martone now. Could think about that. Evgeny Malkin, also, if we want to keep him, I don't know if he's going to retire or what, but he still wants 1 year at 4.65. So if we wanted to do 1 year, yeah, we could get below $4.5 million. I don't know. We could think about that on Evgeny Malkin. Fagimo's been crazy. Expiring UFA. I don't know if we can afford to sign him for like that. No, I thought he was going to be wanting like 2.5 or something. Or 2.2. No, 1.125. Good thing about Fagimo. Lee, Othman, Jack Guy, etc. down the line. And goaltenders, nothing to be worried about there. Okay. And then, of course, for the trade blocks around the NHL, we'll look at all the forwards, all the skaters, I should say, and then all the goaltenders. Remember, goalies don't have a lot of trade value. So Ilya Sorokin, for example, wouldn't be able to be traded for that much. Yes, another goalie of similar overall would have similar trade value, but if you're saying like, okay, dump Sorokin and somebody else and get some selling team's first-round pick, no, we get like a second. So sadly, we cannot do anything crazy like that. Draft pick situation, by the way, we have a first, second, third, fourth, 2 fifths, and a sixth in this coming draft. Here's the rest of our trade value on the team if you are curious. Now, let's look at the trade blocks around the league. We'll look at skaters and then goalies. So skaters matching the block. Troy Terry, 87 overall. And I'll look at years left. Yeah. So Troy Terry, Jamie Alexiak, some names there in Anaheim. The trades don't have to be for right now, but it could be names to consider moving towards the deadline as well. Pelech, Lindholm, Zadorov in Boston. Buffalo, some prospects. Calgary, Roslovic, Beauvilliers, Zucker. Carolina Hurricanes, not much there. As always, if there's any name, that pops out to you want to know more information on, just let me know in the comments or on Discord. I'll get the information on that player. Not much there. Colorado, Chicago, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit has Joe Veleno, 2 years left on his deal, and Brzezinski, Trenton, Edmonton, not much. Florida, a lot of 75 overall and under players. Kevin Fiala on an expiring deal, and he's open to coming to Long Island. Ryan O'Reilly, Mikey Anderson, Gavrikov, Marino, open to coming here as well. Dickinson, Jokiharju, Thompson, Appleton. Minnesota, Kiviharju with low top 60 potential. Yeah, Canadians, Lageson. Predators, Devils have Timo Meier, doesn't want to come here though. Brett Pesce would be open to coming here. 2 years left, 87 overall, 34 years of age. O'Connor, Sissons, Terpchenko, Prunovich, etc. Rangers, Senators, Gustav Nyquist, Vladimir Tarasenko. Flyers, Robbie Fabry, Ryan Poehling. Penguins, Ryan Graves, open to coming here. San Jose, Sanheim's open to it. Toffoli's not. Then Wallman, Cates, Kapanen, and the other Aho. The Kraken have Dylan Strome on the block. Yeah, so Dylan Strome was offered to us, 85 overall, 3 years left at $5.47 million at 31 years of age. Could he be our future second-line center and allow Matty Barzal to go back to first-line wing? At the same time, that would bump someone out of our top 6. That's also the problem there, too. So Dylan Strome currently with 23 points in 40 games on like close to a 50-point pace-ish. +4, playing 21:06 of ice time on a not-so-great Kraken team, I would assume. Yeah, Stevenson not open to coming here, but Dylan Strome would be. Actually, no, the Kraken are good. They're 24, 14, and 2, but they're listed as sellers. So keep Dylan Strome in mind, even if it's third-line center. Just for right now, Malkin's there. It's more of a future thing. It's like we would need a third-line center for sure starting next year if Letourneau doesn't grow. Lightning, Maple Leafs have Tavares on the block. John Tavares, $8.19 million, but he has no trade clauses or anything. 28 points in 39 games. Do we bring him back to Long Island to play bottom 6? Maybe Fagemo goes back to the 4th line. Lee gets bumped out. I could see it. Even Holmberg. What? How's Holmberg an 85 overall? Pontus Holmberg an 85 overall. Had a 55-point season last year, and he's point per game this season. What? Lundstrom, Gustafsson, all that. The Leafs are 21-14-4. Conservative buyers, but they have 2 expiring players on the block. I guess they want to get value for them. Sheesh. Utah has Ty Dellandrea, Vancouver, Vinny Darnay, Vegas, not much. Washington, not much. Winnipeg, not much either. All right, so now looking at the trade blocks, for any goalies on the trade block, or teams that have situations that make a lot of sense for a goalie being traded. Maybe Detroit. They have Dostal, Kosa, and Husso, who are all 81 overall plus. Interesting. Husso and Kosa on expiring deals, and Dostal signed on for 3 more years, 2 more after this one, at close to $6 million. Dostal's been putting up good numbers, if I remember correctly. No, sorry, I take that back. He has not been doing anything close to that. 12 wins, 889 save percentage, 3.51 goals against average. Yikes. He had good numbers in Anaheim, though. I wonder if it's just a Detroit thing. But Dostal, Kosa, low starter potential, and Husso down in the AHL, yeah, not great. Man, and there's not a lot of other options. There are no teams with goalies on the trade block, and there's barely any teams with situations that make sense. Most teams have like a high overall and a low overall. There's no 2 teams with like 286s or something. Askrov's an 87, 5 by 9.5. Blackwood's an 82, with 2 years left at league minimum. And Trey Augustine, 80 overall, medium elite on a minor league deal as well. Trey Augustine with medium elite potential. I wonder if that could be a little reclamation project or something. Interesting in San Jose. Joey Decord, the first goalie on the trade block, and he would be open to coming here. 84 overall, 2 more years at 5.615. Great numbers, but in just 6 games. 6 appearances, ridiculous numbers for 6 appearances, actually. 1.12 goals against average and 965 save percentage. 4 goals on 114 shots. So yeah, he's been the backup in Seattle for a couple of years, as he was the starter in 2024-25 and 25-26, then shifted to a backup role. But Joey Decord there. Okay. St. Louis has Binnington on the block. They have 382 overalls. Binnington 2 more years at 6.14, though. I don't know about that. Good numbers. Montembeault, and those are good numbers. Yeah, and then Joel Hofer's in the AHL. Maybe someone could save one of those. Tampa Bay, Toronto. Well, they have Stolarz on the block, but 80 overall. Utah's interesting. 82, 83, 85. This guy, Koronen, medium starter. Rasmus Koronen. Interesting. Medium starter, but 26, 82 overall. Yeah. Vejmelka expiring deal, and Ingram 2 more years at 6.2. I could see Vejmelka. None of these numbers are always disappointing, though. Vancouver, Vegas, Hill, Samsonov, and Rodriguez in their system, all expiring deals. I wonder. Samsonov, good numbers. Washington, Winnipeg, and there you go. Really not a lot out there. And by the way, what we need to be considering more than anything is which teams are even eligible on Elias Rokin's trade clause. So we can only go to Anaheim, Boston, Calgary, Chicago, Columbus, Dallas, Edmonton, LA, Minnesota, Montreal, the Rangers, the Flyers, the Penguins, the Kraken, the Maple Leafs, or the Canucks. So at least the Kraken would be open if we want to do some sort of Decord trade. So Sorokin for Decord and some picks would definitely do it, but I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for them. They have Harabel already, so yeah, probably not, honestly. If I'm speaking honestly here, probably not, no. I don't know, but that's for all of you to think about. We don't need to trade Sorokin necessarily. It's just that I don't know how long this Fountain of Youth situation with Marc-Andre Fleury is going to go, and whenever it does end up, I don't know, not falling apart, just kind of, I don't know, fizzling out, are we going to be ready to put the responsibility back on the shoulders of Sorokin and or Marachik? You know what I'm saying? So I think that just about does it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. A great start. We're looking at franchise records here. 28 wins through the first half of the season, on pace for a 56-win season, which would be obviously our best of 5 years so far. We've hit 50 wins, but never 56. We had, 52 or 53 wins? Actually, we had hit 54 wins 2 years ago, but this is for 56. All right, so I'm looking forward to reading all your thoughts down here in the comments on YouTube or over in the Discord server. Link in the description as always. Remember to get in your thoughts for any of the 5-on-5 lines, power play, especially the penalty kill though. Will that be in the form of a trade or just mixing up personnel? That'll be up to you. So just one last reminder, power play unit 1 looks like this. Power play unit 2 looks like this. Actually, Anders Lee shouldn't be there. It's because of Belchet's coming out. And you know what? I never fixed that. Whoa, I never fixed that. I'm sorry about that. So Anders Lee... yeah, 0 power play points. So Lee will come off the power play, absolutely, and we'll fix that up. So sorry, I totally had that slip my mind. And then for the penalty kill, unit number 1 looks like this. Unit number 2 looks like this. and unit number 3 looks like this. So get in your comments if you have any suggestions for that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Leave a like for Marc-Andre Fleury turning back the clock. Come on now, Marc-Andre Fleury. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of all of our uploads here on the channel. Hit the bell to be notified when we go live in our franchise mode series, NHL, MLB The Show 25 coming soon, breaking news and analysis in the real world of hockey with the NHL trade deadline coming around. You don't want to miss out on here on the channel. We just surpassed 8,600 subscribers on our road to 10K here in 2025, and we'd be that much stronger of a team with you as a part of it. So thanks again for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the second half of year number 5 as we continue to push for 50 plus, maybe even 56 plus victories.